Whoa! Hey there! Hi! You are about to watch the season finale of The Wild Review. I know it's a very long video, but I got a really big announcement that I'm going to say at the end of the video, so if you're interested, I would suggest watching all the way to the end to check out what this huge announcement's going to be. It relates to what's going to be going on next month for the whole Wild Review series, and if for any reason you have no interest of staying until the very end of the video and you're interested to know what it is now, then in the description below I have a time code entitled Announcement, which you can automatically just click and it'll bring you to the end of the video and you can hear what I gotta say. Also, along with that, there are other time codes that when you click them, they'll bring you to different spots of the video. If you're interested in only hearing me talk about one specific topic that I'm going to be discussing in today's video. With that all said, I'll see you after the video if you're staying until the end. Bye, and have fun. Wild like. Hello, welcome to The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and today we're in for a treat. So from when I ended Season 5 in April, up until when I started Season 6, or uploading Season 6 in September, I've been on a hiatus. I guess I really shouldn't say that. I've just been filming The Wild Reviews ahead of time. I started in July, but I have been on a little hiatus. I needed to take a break. I've been working on those, preparing Season 6, and from September up until last week is when the Lost and Found season has been being uploaded. Basically, from April up until this point, I have been working on resting and Season 6 of The Wild Review. So I've mostly just been gathering stuff together for the 10 shows that I was going to touch upon for Lost and Found. However, a lot of stuff happened in between that time when I was both gone and working on other stuff. A good couple of things that I enjoy watching and things I would have enjoyed talking about have occurred and been placed onto television or the big screen, and I have seen all these things that I would like to talk about. The thing is, though, I have about 12 things in total that I want to talk about, and I really don't want to make 12 different videos. So I thought to wrap up this season of The Wild Review, I thought maybe going off topic of Lost and Found and going back to the old basics of The Wild Review by touching upon stuff that I enjoy talking about, which are going to be these 12 things, these 12 different topics of stuff that's happened in the TV and movie world, and even kind of the internet world, and you'll see where that comes into play. So what I've decided to do is, rather than sit here and go length to length on touching upon all these different topics, I'm going to give you some quick little thoughts that I've had about these topics, whether it's a show or a film that I've seen, and we'll just quickly go one by one for all of them, so this way we don't waste that much time. Alright, let's begin with the first one. Pale White Kid Reviews stuff starts now! I like Wrecked. I enjoyed it very much. Here's a fun, true, sad story. The season premiere of Wrecked back in August, I was really excited to watch it. And then it was 10 o'clock, I sat my butt down and I watched it, and I saw the first 7 minutes and then the power went out in my house. It came back on, luckily, before the show ended, but I missed a humongous chunk of the show. I was not a happy camper. But the season was really good. If you haven't seen Wrecked before, it's a show on TBS. I made a video about that show, so that link will be in the description below if you want to check that out. But to summarize it, it's basically following a group of survivors that were in a plane crash and they're on a deserted island. This season, the 9 main survivors, or at least the 8 main survivors and one of the recurring characters, they end up on a billionaire's island and they're forced to hunt each other because that's what the rich guy likes doing. It's kind of like a Hunger Games TV series, only for one season. And I thought it was really interesting. The character dynamics that we got this season were a bit more intense, because just a lot of things were happening between a lot of the characters. Like, we saw a dark side of Danny, probably because of his trauma with his family. Like, he's already lost majority of his family members, so now he's trying to keep his family of people that he survived with still together, even though they're slowly turning on each other. Jess played a huge part in the season because she lost her memory for the whole season, basically. I never expected to discover Owen's backstory. Supposedly he lives in a van, and I just never expected that. We also got Karen's backstory. Overall, just a really great season. I'm hoping that they do a season 4. I'm pumped for a season 4. The problem is with a show like Wrecked, which I hope never happens, is because it's just such a simple idea of having people trapped on an island, there really isn't that much you could do. The first season focused on them just surviving alone because the plane crash just happened. The second season focused on pirates invading the island because they wanted one of the survivors, and then that later transitioned into the survivors taking the cruise ship they came on. And then it was this season where they ended up on a new island, and there was a mentally unstable rich guy forcing them to hunt each other. I don't know what season 4 is going to give us, if we even get a season 4. At this point, it hasn't been announced they're renewing it. But I don't know what else they could do with this show. But you never know. It may just be really awesome, because I didn't know what they were going to go with season 3, and season 3 ended up being really epic and awesome. So at the timing of this recording, I gotta make this clear because a few weeks will go by from this. I'm filming this a few days after the premiere of The Woman Who Fell to Earth, which was episode 1 of season 11. So with that said, that's the only episode I've seen. I have not seen the Ghost Monument or any of the other episodes, which currently do not have names yet. So I won't be touching upon the season as a whole right now, specifically because by the time this goes out, the season won't even be over with. There's going to be a few episodes aired in December, since now it's airing on Fridays. But I do want to give my little opinion of what I thought of the premiere episode. The first episode, I enjoyed it. It's going to take a little time for me to get used to the characters and everything, because all it is just new. Like, there's no Bill or Nardole. There wasn't even a TARDIS in this episode. It was just Jodie Whittaker playing the Doctor. And I think she was an amazing Doctor. I can definitely see her being it now. I won't officially consider her an amazing one until I see a little bit more of her, but I've always been up for a female Doctor, and I think she does it very well. It took a little while in the episode for her to kind of show it, because she's kind of transitioning from Capaldi and she's acting all weird, but I really enjoyed it. I think the other characters work very well with her as well. The other cast members in the show do very well. I did not see the death of Grace coming at all. Like, I was under the impression she was going to be in a few more episodes, so it did take me by surprise that she just died. The villain was pretty cool. Tim Shaw, that's a really... he looks like a Doctor Who monster. Of course, we're probably never going to see him again, or maybe we will. I don't know. But I like the fact that he's all creepy with all those teeth on his face. Yes, I really enjoyed the first episode. I enjoyed it even more to see, like, Jodie in Capaldi's costume, because, like, I know that was his costume, and the fact that, like, it's really interesting to think that just a few moments in the show's time, at least, she was a guy going on an adventure with his first self, and he dealt with Cybermen, and all this stuff happened, and now she's dealing with this in a whole new world. I really enjoy that, and I look forward to seeing the rest of the season. I won't spend that much time on this specific topic because I know it was a little controversial, but I do want to just give my little thought about it because it did happen. If you don't know, this past summer, Butch Hartman, who created Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, he started a Kickstarter so he can launch his own streaming network called Oaxis. It seemed like a pretty cool idea. The only thing was, a lot of information was left out about it. Like, nobody knew exactly what Oaxis was. They just knew it was a streaming site where shows and films for family-oriented atmospheres were, like, allowed. There was a lot of goals set for Oaxis, and a lot of people had doubts that it wasn't going to make it. In fact, the last day of the Kickstarter, like, it didn't look like it was going to make it, but it did. He was asking for $250,000 for this thing. But nobody knew what it was for. Like, nobody knew what the main goal was. apart from just doing this streaming site. There was no information about it whatsoever. And then when the goal was reached, it was revealed that this is going to be a Christian-based streaming network. And a lot of people were pretty annoyed at that because he left that out. What I have to say about it is I think a lot could have gone better with this whole entire situation. But there was just a lot of stuff that, I think he was focusing on at one point that he might have just been working on too much stuff that he could handle. I do know that I saw a little press conference video that he did in front of a group of people, and he was talking about the future of Oaxis, and it actually kind of scared me a little because he was like, we're gonna go national, year 2, we're gonna make all these different shows, we're gonna have a movie. He mentioned like a Broadway show at one point, like SpongeBob, and I was just like, you're kind of getting a little over your head here because you just raised the money for it. You don't even have anything for it yet. So I think maybe he should take one step at a time. And that's all I gotta say about it, because the whole thing's just a bit odd. Butterflies and bees. After 8 long years, right? Yeah, that should be right. After a long time being on television and being treated like crap from Cartoon Network, Adventure Time has finally ended. I'm not saying that in the form of I'm happy it's ended. I actually miss the fact that it has ended, but I'm just kind of shocked it still ended, if that makes any sense to you. A lot of people online are really devastated that Adventure Time has ended, mostly because it was one of those first shows that brought us into a new Renaissance era of Cartoon Network, which I can't lie that that's not true. Adventure Time was kind of the, what do they call it? It was definitely the first lineup of a bunch of new shows that basically rebirthed Cartoon Network, because before that they had a bunch of live action shows that nobody wanted. Adventure Time was kind of the icebreaker to creating new shows, because right after that we got Regular Show and Gumball, which is currently running, but that's also going to be ending pretty soon. And we had Clarence and Steven Universe and Uncle Grandpa, which, yes, I like Uncle Grandpa. I thought it was very funny. But generally, a lot of the shows that came after Adventure Time, they were always like a hit, apart from like a few. And now that Adventure Time's over, it's like an era is ending, because Regular Show has also ended, Uncle Grandpa's ended, Clarence has ended, Gumball is going to be ending, Steven Universe is going to be really the only show that's still running. The finale itself, I'm happy, but also I'm a little disappointed because they missed a perfect opportunity for maybe playing a recap of what happened in the season. I am happy they played Adventure Time on the day that the finale was airing. You know, I'm glad they didn't do a marathon of Teen Titans Go like they always do for some reason, and then just throw Adventure Time in there, which is kind of like the odd one out in that whole lineup of shows that they're airing. So I'm happy we got to see a lot of old classic Adventure Time episodes. I'm just kind of a little disappointed they didn't play the episode that came before the finale. I know that's not the Minecraft one, it's the one before then. Only because I think maybe that would have been a better, it would have given us a better understanding of what exactly was happening, seeing that Adventure Time isn't really played as much as it should be. They aired those episodes like once, and then they never play them again because they're worried that the viewership for Teen Titans Go will like change the channel or something if they don't get their frickin' show. I must say though, the lineup has gotten a bit better by playing a different episode each hour kind of on the network now. But on the topic of Adventure Time, I thought the finale was really good. I like the fact that nobody major died. Like, I'm happy that Finn and Jake got a little happy ending. Of course, they ended up dying in the episode off screen because the episode takes place both in the present day and the future. So I'm just happy that, majority of all the main characters had a great ending that didn't result in anybody paying the price like Regular Show did with their finale. So yeah, really cool. And I like how the ending reflects the beginning of the series. Literally the beginning, with the cool Finn and Jake pose at the end with new characters. I like that. Good job. To kick off the Halloween season, I decided to go to the cinema with my mom and brother, and we went to go see The House with the Clock in Its Wall, only because it seemed like a pretty cool and interesting film to start off the fall season and the Halloween vibes, and it was alright. It was a cute little film. I didn't know it was based off of a book, let alone 12 books, but A House with a Clock in Its Wall was definitely a very interesting, cute little film. It had a nice little wizard, mystical feel to it, mostly because it focused on warlocks. Jack Black plays a really great uncle. I've always seen him as like a really cool uncle type character, and he fits the role of Uncle Jonathan really well in this film. I don't really have that much to comment on it because it wasn't great. Again, it's just cute. It's a cute little film that I think you would enjoy if you like that kind of stuff. It's definitely not in theaters at this moment, but if you're interested, you should probably check it out. It got okay reviews. Oddly enough, after I saw it, which was the weekend that it came out, I just haven't seen any promotion for it whatsoever. Like, I stopped seeing posters and trailers stopped playing on TV. Like, this is a week after it premiered in theaters, so that's a bit odd, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. This one I'm pretty excited for. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is coming back. I only thought there were going to be 6 episodes, but I guess I was wrong. A little teaser came out last month. It was only 30 seconds, and it showed the characters were coming back. Now, we currently have no information about what's going on. There's some indication that it may have something to do with a mayor going missing in this little town, but I'm pretty excited for it. I never thought we'd see Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared come back. They did the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared Gumball episode for The Amazing World of Gumball. That's not actually what it's called. The episode's called The Puppets, and the people that made Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared took part in it to make a puppet thing for it, but I'm really excited for it. I hear it's going to be on TV as well, which should be interesting. I'm just hoping that it sticks to its roots of being both dark and musical and fun and creative like it was with the original 6. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm ready for a new fresh story. I don't know how the continuity of it will work, but you know, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is weird like that. A character can die and they can come back. Yeah. I don't care. I'm ready for it. On my list of the 12 things that I wanted to touch upon, I have both Double Dare and Rugrats. And thinking about it, they kind of deal with the same thing on the topic of reboots. So I'm going to combine them both and just quickly go over the 2 things in their own little separate sections. So we'll just start with Rugrats. If you don't know, this past summer Nickelodeon announced that they were renewing Rugrats for 20 episodes, as well as working on a live-action Rugrats movie with CGI babies. No! Don't do that! Hey Arnold was one thing. Invader Zim you got me excited for, and I'm still waiting for that Rocko's Modern Life TV movie. But this is not something I want to see. Both, actually, both the TV series and the live-action movie. First off, the live-action movie, why wouldn't you just make it all CGI? Why would the babies be the only ones CGI? If anything, that might make the whole thing look worse. As for the TV series, I'm just not looking forward to it because I think Rugrats should stay dead. I think it was fine the way it was. It had a perfectly good run. They had 9 good seasons. They had a pretty good spin-off series with them as 10-year-olds. I don't see a need to continue the series at all. What, because it makes you money? I know that's probably what this is all about, but you also have to realize maybe that this is not the perfect time to bring Rugrats back. Nobody's really talking about Rugrats either. Nobody's saying they wanted it back. No one was writing letters, oh, can you please bring Rugrats back? I want to see what goes on. Nobody really knows what Rugrats is because you play it at like 12 at night on the Splat, which is on Teen Nick. Really, the only people I could see asking for Rugrats to come back are people that grew up with it, who are probably like in their 20s now. I don't know. I don't see it working out very well. I just don't think it's a good idea to bring it back. Considering how reboots for certain cartoons are nowadays, it just doesn't look very good. As for Double Dare, this is a reboot that is completely different because I can see this show coming back, and it came back this past summer, and it's pretty good. I've seen a few episodes. I don't watch it all the time, but it's something. Double Dare was just one of those shows I never really paid attention to when it was originally on. It was on Nickelodeon Gas, which stood for Games and Sports, which I don't know why they don't have nowadays because Nickelodeon has a lot of sport and game shows stuff that go on Nicktoons Network, which shouldn't be there at all because it just should be for old cartoons. But I enjoyed Double Dare, and I was actually pretty stoked when I heard that was coming back because Double Dare is a game show. It's not a show that focuses on plot structure or anything. It's a game show. And I don't see anything wrong with like game shows coming back. They brought Legends of the Hidden Temple back, but in a form of a TV movie, which was alright. But Double Dare, yeah, it was what I've seen, it's pretty good. It sticks to its original genes of being a very messy, and it just looks like a show that they're all having fun with. The only thing I have a problem with is the fact that, oh Jesus, what's the name of this girl? I don't know the name of I can't think of the girl's name on the top of my head, but I know she's a YouTuber. They brought Mark Summers back for Double Dare, which is cool, it's fine, but he's not the host. They have some YouTuber as the host now. Why? I don't know. Mark Summers has no part in the show at all. He just stands at a little podium and just says what the kids would win if they get a certain thing right. That's all he does. Like, he's the person that just announces stuff. He's not the host. He's not doing anything spectacular like he used to. What made Mark Summers really cool on the show was the fact that he had a condition that where he couldn't stand messes or things that were out of order, which is what made the show really interesting. Although he never said it on TV, of course. I don't know, maybe if that's one reason why they have him where he is on this show, maybe because it's gotten to the point where he can't stand it at this point. But even if that was the case, why would you bring him back in the first place? Like, why would you bring the original host back if he's not even going to be a host in the show? We're literally a few months away from it becoming the new year, so I'm pretty sure it's safe to talk about a film that has come out early this year, specifically the beginning of the year, if you want to consider it that. It came out in April, and I can understand maybe from like that point in April and all of May if you haven't seen it, but I'm sure the appropriate time where everyone was fine with talking about it was in the June, July time area. I saw Infinity War twice, and I really enjoyed it. And I touched upon Marvel in a separate video when I talked about Black Panther, but I gave a little quick overview of my thoughts on a lot of different Marvel films, but I haven't seen many of them. That was the thing. At this point, I have seen 8 movies that are condensed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Along with that, I've seen the 3 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films and Deadpool 2. I have not yet seen Deadpool 1, but the thing you need to know about me is it's very easy for me to kind of like just hop on the train and quickly understand what's going on if somebody like, you know, tells me a brief summary of what's happening. And the same thing happened with Infinity War. What's funny is all the Marvel films that I've seen for the cinematic universe, the only ones I really haven't seen, if you don't count Infinity War, are like all the main Avenger character films. So I haven't seen the Thor trilogy, the Captain America trilogy, the Iron Man trilogy, and the Hulk movie. So that's about the half of the whole series. Obviously, I kept my word when I talked about Infinity War the last couple of minutes of the video. I am very interested to see what's going on in this universe, even though a lot of my friends think it's a really bad idea that I'm just watching these films in no particular order. Yeah, I'm that one kid that saw Infinity War and was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch Civil War next, which is not a joke. I literally have Civil War still recorded on my TV, and I have not yet to watch it. But Infinity War, for the people that still haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, why haven't you seen it yet? It's gonna be Christmas soon. For the sake of those people, I won't spoil any major things, but I got a little emotional at the end. The first time that I saw it, I was just really in shock on the way home when I saw it the first time. It was a little hard for me to sit through it the second time with friends, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't care that it was 2 hours and 40-something minutes. It was worth the money, and the fact that it is the first movie I've ever heard make $2 billion, that is amazing. I won't lie, I'm a little disappointed that many of the stuff we saw in the trailers were not in there. Like, there was a lot of misleading stuff in those trailers, like Bruce Banner was not fighting in the Hulk form. In fact, the Hulk wasn't even in the film most of the time. So I'm a little disappointed in that stuff. But it's definitely gotten me excited for part 2 of Infinity War. You bet your ass that I'm seeing that. And also, again, I'm slowly going to be catching up with what I need to know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I do plan on watching Captain Marvel because I know she'll probably be a big part in Infinity War Part 2. I'm calling it that because we don't know the name yet. But I'm slowly going to catch up. I'll watch it out of order. My friends, you guys can yell at me all I want. You gotta watch it in order. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, so I'll watch what I can get. I didn't see it, but I heard it was good. So I have a little history with Total Drama. I haven't really talked about what I thought about the show before, but to give you a little summary, I enjoyed it. I started watching in season 4, and this is one of those shows that is very similar to the Fairly Odd Parents, because with all the introduction of characters for Fairly Odd Parents, you have those people that say, oh, I don't like when they introduced Poof. Like the episodes that Poof's in, that's when the show got bad. For me, it's when Sparky was introduced, and then Chloe, that it was just unnecessary for those two. I thought Poof was fine. Total Drama is kind of similar to that, because in Season 4 we got an introduction of new characters, and the same thing happened in I consider Season 6, not Part 2 of Season 5. But some people just thought the show got old, and that it wasn't special anymore. But I disagree. I like Total Drama. I enjoy the fact that it's supposed to be a cartoon parody of survival, or one of those game shows where you're out in the wild. That's the whole point of the show, to have like new characters, because you have new cast members every season. I like that, and I appreciate how much work goes into that. And then they also did Total Drama, the Ridiculous Race, the Ridiculous, I don't know. It was some race show, and that was okay. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was just there. It was just something that was there. But this, Total DramaRama, no! I don't know who thinks of these ideas. But you need to honestly just sit down and question why. I get there was that whole trend back in the early days of children's television where it was a thing to take a popular TV series and make them younger and say like, oh, we're in an alternate universe, or we're going back into their past to see what they were like as kids. It was one thing with a pup named Scooby-Doo, only because I can see that happening. I don't care what those live-action films say. I can't see it with the Flintstones. I can't see it with Tom and Jerry. I can kind of see it with Baby Looney Tunes, but Total DramaRama goes along with Flintstone Kids. I'm not having it. I have seen a few episodes of this show just because they were on. I just wanted to give them a try. You're absolute... No, please. Total DramaRama supposedly takes place in an alternate universe from the actual Total Drama series. And we get to see certain characters as children at a daycare. Run by Chef. Why Chef? I don't know. For some reason, Chris isn't there. I think Chef should be a chef. He shouldn't be a daycare teacher person. The show is just, it's nothing like Total Drama. It kind of ruins everything Total Drama was. It's just not good. Not to mention they have a character from the show 16, which I have not seen, so I can't give you any insight on that. So that's a thing. Steven, what are you doing to me? So this was a pretty big one, Steven Universe. I have never been so confused in my life. This is another one of those finales that I had to watch over again because I did not understand it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I give you a little summary. Not a major spoiler if you haven't really seen it, but you really should at this point. So Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz are one. I was very confused when that episode came out. I had to watch it a few times because some things weren't making sense to me. I'm slow, I got it. But in the end, I really enjoyed that episode. I thought it was beautifully written. The episodes that followed it were okay. They're not the best, but they were definitely interesting stories. The return of Bismuth was really cool. And the actual finale itself, I thought it was really cool. I love stories that focus on happy events and then out of nowhere, just something crazy happens. So Garnet's wedding mixed with a diamond battle, that is the best thing that I've ever seen. I really enjoyed that 30-minute special. I was definitely on the edge of my seat. I didn't know what was going to happen. The fact that there were a few minutes left of the episode, like I was getting nervous. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then to get that little ending, I didn't see it coming. I actually thought something bad was going to happen. Yellow Diamond's just like a badass. She doesn't take crap from anybody. If you thought that was the finale of the season, you thought wrong. I don't know why it wasn't, but the actual finale was also really interesting. It was only like 15 minutes though, so we got very little time to kind of like cope with everything. But yeah, White Diamond's in the show now. That's really cool. I kind of figured she would become part of the story at some point because she was the only diamond that was not touched upon in the show. She hasn't played any big role. She hasn't even been in the show. So I'm excited to see where that goes. It ended very interestingly as well. I could tell White Diamond might be a bit of a scary character that we have coming upon us. One last topic I gotta say about Steven Universe. I'm fully aware that they are also making a Steven Universe movie. And all I can say about that is I do hope that does go into production because we've had a few instances where Cartoon Network shows would make movies and they have not been made. Regular show, obviously that was made, I saw it, but both Adventure Time and Gumball are supposedly supposed to have movies with their show. We have yet to get an Adventure Time movie, and I don't think we're going to get one because the show ended and Gumball's ending, so I don't know what's going on with that. So I do hope that this Steven Universe movie doesn't take very long. I don't know if it's going to be continuity based or not because there might be a different villain, but I guess we'll see when it comes out. I guess. Okay, and those were 12 different topics about everything that I've seen in the last couple of months. That was a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm pretty tired. I wanna know if you've seen any of this stuff that I've talked about. And if you have, Tell me what you've thought of any of them. Also, what are the interesting stuff that you've seen while I was gone or doing Lost and Found? What did you find interesting on TV that you want to talk about? Tell me all your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching The Wild Review on The Wild Reviewer, and you just saw me review 12 things. 12 things. Oh boy. I need a nap. Alright, it's not that. Okay. Acting's over. It wasn't that bad. Just, I've been sitting here for about an hour, and my voice is starting to go. If you stayed till the end, you are a champ. Alright, so what's this big announcement that I got? Well, we all know what next month is. It's December! Hooray! Christmas! If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, the season has already started for you since the beginning of November, and the same goes if you don't celebrate Halloween. You've had your Christmas tree up since the beginning of September then. Or October. It depends when your summer ends. Okay, so here's the deal. I thought of something, I'm probably going to end up regretting it, but it seems pretty interesting and I'm going to give it a try and hopefully you enjoy what's going to happen. Usually for the Wild Review, for the Christmas videos, I would always do 2 videos of stuff that I enjoy watching, and then I would usually end the video in the Christmas season of the Wild Review by touching upon a movie that I found absolutely god-awful. Well, this year, I'm not going to do that. This year I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of producing 3 videos for the Wild Review Christmas season, I'm instead going to produce 25 Christmas videos and upload them daily. Welcome to 25 Wild Christmas Review Days! Hooray! I thought of that name myself. Please do not make fun of me on your internet social media sites. So I thought it would be pretty interesting if from December 1st all the way to December 25th, Christmas Day, I would make a video each day touching upon one specific Christmas film that I enjoy watching or have never seen before, because believe it or not, I've only seen a small percentage of them. Most of the films that I'm going to be touching upon will be my first time viewing them. It'll give me a chance to check out all these different films that I've never seen before, but I've seen trailers of and maybe little clips of or even heard of. So that's the whole deal. 25 Wild Christmas Review Days. A new video every day from December 1st all the way to the 25th of December. Different movie every day. It's going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully you enjoy watching it and you don't get annoyed by my voice. With all that said, I do have 3 rules that I will be following as I do this little project of mine, and I want you to be aware of them in case you have a question of why I'm not talking about a specific film. Number 1, I am fully aware that there are more than 25 different Christmas films. There are at least probably 1,000 out there. To tell you the truth, I'm not even touching upon 25 films alone. I'm basically touching upon like 30 of them in that range. It's gonna get a bit wild, I guess. So with that said, I'm mostly just going to be touching upon films that come to your mind instantly when you think of Christmas. So the Rankin Bass stuff, Frosty, The Grinch, Christmas Vacation, Elf, all that stuff. I'm touching upon all the very popular Christmas specials and films that would most likely come to your mind when you think of Christmas. Number 2, I'm fully aware that the films that I will be talking about have been so popular that they've spawned some sequels or even remakes. I will be touching upon those sequels and remakes for those films that I talk about. However, to keep everything short and to make sure that I touch upon certain films I do want to talk about, I'm going to do those type of videos a little differently from each other. So if this movie that I'm talking about has a certain amount of sequels, then I will definitely be touching upon those sequels, but in their own video. If the movie, however, has been remade a few times, I will touch upon the remakes, but only in one video. And the reason for that is because with sequels, it's kind of like an episode of a show. You're dealing with the same characters that you've seen before, they're just put in different situations. And then compared to remakes, you're dealing with the same story, maybe a few different characters, but basically the same characters played by different people. But it's generally the same story that you're dealing with, just told in a different point of view or a different way with a few things twerked with the plot, or even new characters being added to the story. It's generally just the same story rather than sequels which are telling different stories. So that's the whole thing with that. You have remakes all in one video and sequels get their own individual videos. And number 3, to kind of go along with number 1, I'm only touching upon films that are 100% about Christmas, which means I will not be talking about any sort of hybrid films that have a mix of Christmas or anything else. They have to be all about Christmas. They have to do something with Christmas. I am not talking about Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? I understand it is classified as a Christmas film. I am not talking about it because I consider it a Halloween film. It's loved more around Halloween in a way. It came out around Halloween, and also I don't need another video of me talking about how I love Nightmare Before Christmas. We've had enough of those. Also, I won't be touching upon Die Hard. Sorry, I don't like Die Hard. I'm not interested in seeing it. So that's the deal, that's what's going on! 25 Wild Christmas Review Days. It's gonna be pretty interesting. You'll see the progression of me slowly getting very tired and rambling on too long. Starts December 1st, hopefully you tune in, hopefully you enjoy it, and this should be a very interesting experiment that I will most likely never do again. Because it's probably gonna break me.